As usual lately, since I don't really have anything set up, we are not enjoying a luxurious background soundtrack. But we're here, we're live, we're streaming, and we're watching tournament games. Or will be momentarily. Let's see, switching out to
Hello, Twitch.
TTS. Yes, thank you very much for joining me, Reggie, as my co-commentator today.
Hello. I just waved at my computer screen,
Good.
which
I'm sure that they wave back.
not ex yeah, not exactly the most helpful.
That's
So
fine.
today we've got a game between Rose and Adwins in the Defenders of Earth tournament.
Yep, we
Second
are
round.
trying to determine who the champion is to defend Earth from the alien invasion. We don't know the aliens format, so you're required to bring a team with one character from each of the first 7 seasons of Exceed, which is to say the existing 7 seasons of Exceed as of the time of this recording. Oh. Yep. Alright. Each round, you will play 2 games against your opponent, so it's not a best of 3. Just play 2 games, chalk up however many wins you get. If you win the first game, then the character that you won with, you can't use in the second game. So you are required to maintain at least some diversity, but in principle, you don't actually have to pick first. You don't actually have to be willing to field more than 2 of your characters, although being able to do so is obviously an advantage because it gives you a wider pool to choose from. It's also makes you better prepared for the alien invasion. Sorry, go ahead.
You are rewarded for winning for each character you win with, so there is a slight incentive there to play as many characters over the course of the tournament as possible.
Yep, that is true. In 5 rounds, you ideally want to win with 7 different characters. 5 rounds of 2 games each, so out of 10, 7 distinct wins is the ideal. Of course, winning is better than not winning. Here we have a Season 2 matchup. Adwins running Emogine versus Rose's Iaquis. Oh, this is going to be a blast. Both these characters are a lot of fun. Both of them face-up attackers, notably, in one sense or another.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Iaquis' ability, when you initiate a strike, you may set your attack face-up and declare Fight Me. If you do, +2 power. I know it doesn't actually appear to say and declare Fight Me, but I'm pretty sure it's written on the card. It's just you can't see it.
No, you're supposed to say dragon, is what I was told.
Well, not if it's a normal. That's
he has normals.
Yeah, normals are good. Yeah. All right, Emogine.
And
set your Wild Swings face up, whether on offense or on defense. Before you set a Wild Swing with the top card of your deck, you may spend a life to add 2 gauge. So notably, if you are initiating, that means you're initiating face up. But if you're responding, then it doesn't really matter that your attack's face up.
Just value.
Yeah, just value. You get a chance to look at the top card of your deck and say, that's not a good Wild Swing here, let's add to my gauge. Notably, you only get to do this once per strike, because it is before setting Wild Swing, you get this instruction, it's not each time you would, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Having played against Rose's Iaquis in the last week, I know she, I asked, she prefers the front side to the Exceed mode, so I don't think we're likely to see attacks stapled together like you would get with that. And I'm guessing with Adwins favors frontside Emogine.
I actually think Adwins favors Hecatun Kier, because I seem to remember that I watched Adwins play Emogine and Exceed spending 4 gauge, I think.
Okay.
Pretty hefty cost. It's been an adage in Exceed for a long time that there are 2 kinds of Exceed player: Emogine players and Hecatun Kier players. Players play the front side, players play the back side. It is very much a playstyle shift when you go from Emogine to the Hecatun Kier, which it's upside down. Let me just do that. But the art is right side up when I do that, notably. The Hecatun Kier can look at the top card of the deck at any time. When your turn begins, you can spin a life to put the top card of the deck in the bottom of your deck, so you no longer get the ability to filter it out whenever you Wild Swing. But it makes you much scarier when you're initiating, because you can set that Wild Swing and you know what it is, but it's face down. Alright, neutral's off to a good start. Iaquis boost light at range 4. Not a range at which most people have reason to be particularly concerned about speed. However, Iaquis, as you can see from his sword, axe, lance, sword, other axe, probably a few other weapons, is clearly a ranged character. You don't really want to go up against him at range 4 or greater. He has some nasty ranged moves.
In particular for him, as his character ability has power on it, anything that helps him confirm that power, like bonus speed, is very welcome.
Indeed. Emogine moving into range 2, a range where speed is indeed highly relevant. Notably, that is her favorite range. She has a plethora of horrifying options that could destroy Iaquis. who is now initiating face up with spike at range 2. That's a speed 5, 7 power spike. In order to break that, Emogine basically needs like EX Purifying Chime or a Wild Swing Hand of Judgment.
Or a cross.
Or perhaps this EX Assault that she just played. Ow.
That'll do it too.
Yeah.
That's really solid.
Okay, yeah, she's going to win that cleanly even though she was the defending player, meaning now it's her turn, she gets to do whatever she wants. Iaquis lost that boost and that strike. That's a rough start. Emogine probably would have preferred to be at range 2, but she's not bad at range 1. She is initiating from hand. I'm betting blood for blood. I think she wants that transformation.
Probably. Blood for blood's also just a pretty good attack regardless.
It appears it was Guilty Pain. Responding Grasp is not going to stun her, but is going to make this pretty costly. She takes 3 damage and then needs to spend 3 life if she wants to hit Iaquis, which she almost certainly does. You don't play this and then plan to not hit. Alright, so Iaquis down to 19 life, Emogine still at 27, or 24.
Do you play any attack not to hit?
Block.
No, we don't play block.
Alright, that's fair.
I didn't pay $80 to block.
Emogine backstepping out to range 6. Sorry, Emogine. Iaquis backstepping out to range 6. Range 6 not really a range where Emogine does anything at all. Ever. So she's going to try to get back in, I'm just not sure how.
I mean, Iaquis is not the strongest at 6 either. But compared to the opponent not being able to do anything, it's pretty worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Emogine advances forward with Bloodletting, paying a force from Gage. I'm not sure if she got that in-turn draw, but I'm not going to step in to correct because I'm not certain. Iaquis now initiating at range 2 with a face-up Dragon's Spine. Oh my, that is a face-up speed 2 attack. That's pretty risky. Emogine going to look at the top of her deck. Take a look, see if she wants to add it to her Gage. Notably, with Bloodletting in play, she will be allowed to refund the life expenditure the next time she spends life. So... yeah. Oh, she's just going to keep it because that is Spike. Going to hit for 5, stunning Iaquis. Ouch. Yep. Alright, so Iaquis again initiating and losing cleanly. Emogine now at range 2, her favorite range. That boost has left play. Gonna wait for them to notice that.
Yeah, Imogene's really quite in control of this game.
Yep.
Took advantage of some very strong counters to face-up attacks, which, against a face-up attacker, is what you got to do. You don't let them exploit the bonus they can get.
It's true. Alright, they did discard that boost. Emogine prepares, Iaquis prepares. Both players now with 4 cards at hand, standing at range 2. Imogene's turn has the chance to initiate declines, prepares, going to 6 cards at hand. She has 1 Gage, which...
normally you do want to initiate into these face-up attackers, since then they don't have a character ability.
Less true against Emogine, I would say, but very true into Iaquis, right? Like, not allowing him to get his ability for +2 power is very relevant.
Yeah, I was more thinking face-up attackers in the vein of Iaquis and Cigar.
Yeah.
Who the face-up is, like, the only way to get their ability. Whereas Emogine is non-consequential on defense. She'd rather play defensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's generally pretty okay with responding with her ability because it doesn't have the drawback of being face up at that point. And of course she gets 2 shots where she can look at the first card, decide that she didn't like it, add it to her Gage, and keep rolling. With 1 Gage, Emogine has access to Intercessor's Prayer. When you set a Wild Swing, it gains hit, you may spend a Gage for +2 power. So she could have some pretty nasty Wild Swings here, although setting face up is, of course, as we've been discussing, always a risk. With 6 cards in hand on both players, I believe it's still Imogene's turn.
Yeah, cool. With a cold Wild Swing into a face-up attack. Yeah. It's not a lot of risk there.
Alright, Emogine discarding the dive for hand size because she prepared out of 6-card hands. With that dive in the discard, Iaquis now boosts Swift Destruction. And of course the second dive comes out, immediately discarding it from play. That makes sense.
Ooh.
Yeah, Swift Destruction and
really feel for Iaquis here.
Yeah, he is, he thought he saw his chance to come back. Oh, he did, actually. Sorry, here's the second Swift Destruction.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's probably... She probably will not be able to answer that. Deciding how to pay that cost, ends up paying the 1 Gage that he has. But now he has +4 speed, and a +4 speed Spike is nothing to sneeze at.
+4 speed, +2 power Spike.
If he gets to initiate, which has not yet happens. So Imogine needs to diffuse this in some way, potentially maybe, for example, making both characters Wild Swing with Evil Within and Ultra Boost, or Reading, or just go to range 1 where like that power is going to hurt, but at least it can't ignore Armor and Guard. See what happens.
Alternately, if you're scared of a really specific option, the parry could work, especially if that option is not Spike. It's like you're already losing to Spike, so the block isn't what you want to play anyway.
Mm-hmm. Alright. I'm checking to make sure. I don't think we have a game or a set after this. It's just going to be these two.
As far as I'm aware.
Don't think so. Alright. Just making sure. I don't know. There was one day this week I did like 6 games or something. I'm disoriented. Oh, it is Evil Within. Alright. Imogine ahead in resources. Going to pay that out. Force the opponent to respond to the top card of their deck. That's Wild Swing. So Iaquis with 5 cards in hand had a massive speed advantage, allowing him to... Oh, she discards both copies of Purifying Chime, deciding that is not necessary in order to defuse this. Alright, strikes with 1 card from hands. Okay. Iaquis' response with Cross. That's a speed 10 Cross. He's going to outspeed back away from Emogine, who simply blocked. She is safely getting engaged, and actually also getting advantage, allowing her to take the next turn, thanks to the property of that boost. So she did effectively defuse that boost. It just also moved Iaquis to range 4. Inconvenient.
Yeah, positioning not ideal. But I think probably rather 4 than 1.
Rather 4 than 1, rather 2 than 4.
Dives are down.
No, actually, I think rather 1,
Yeah.
right? Because, yeah, Dragon's Flight, Dragon's Fire, Dragon's Spine are all still alive on some level. You still have 2 copies of Flight, 1 copy of Spine, both copies of Fire. And at 1, she could still have Blood for Blood. She could still have the other copy of Martyr's Lash. Oh, what's this?
Yeah.
Desperate Prayer. Imogine looks at the top 3 cards of her deck, rearranges them, returns them in any order, and then may transform a card from her gauge, although she doesn't actually have any transformable cards in gauge. So she's doing this just to reorder her top deck, which is pretty unusual unless she has the other Touch of Divinity in hand. So this Ultra, which is 4 gauge, can be played from hand even if you can't afford it, because when it is replaced by the next card, you get +3 power. A fairly common tactic for Imogine. Notably, whatever she puts on top, she will draw for a turn, which she has now already done.
Yeah. But you really get to decide what you're drawing and what you've got for Wild Swing.
Alright, Iaquis with a face-up EX dive. That is speed 5, 8 power. Yeah, you're not doing much about that unless you happen to be able to backdash out with Cross.
Yeah. EX Sweep, but that's
pretty much exactly EX Sweep or EX Blood for Blood would be the ways to answer it. And I think if she had EX Blood for Blood, she would have... Okay, she's going to absorb some damage with Focus. She will, however, get stunned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Powerful defensive card, but not defensive
Sometimes 2
enough.
armor is just worth it.
Yep, so she's going to take 6 damage, breaks through Focus's normally impressive 5 guard. Alright, Iaquis is back on the board. He's now only down by 3 life, and he has 2 gauge, although he is out of his 2 gauge Ultra. So he doesn't have the meter for an Ultra yet. His other Ultra is 3 gauge. It is Imogene's turn at range 1, neither player with many resources, both with 2 gauge, both with just a few guards in hands. Iaquis has 3, Imogine has 2. But Imogene's turn, so this is a fairly tense neutral state, but I would consider it a neutral state. I'm not really sure either player is winning right now. Like, Imogene probably by a little bit because of that life lead and that transformation. Just a little.
You gotta be careful though when you think you're ahead, particularly against such a hard hitting character as Iaquis. That can be overturned very quickly.
Yep, that life lead could evaporate if something goes wrong. Imogene now initiating face down from hands, responding Dragon's Tail. That's a lot of damage. Is she going to be able to stun that? No, it is Blood for Blood. All right, this is a big trade. Iaquis hits for 6, does not stun, backs up to range 2. Blood for Blood gets +6 power because of its effects. It hits back just as hard as it gat hits, and spending 2 additional life, hitting for a total of 9 damage, dropping Iaquis to 5 life. Whew. Okay, life is now 9 to 5.
And Iaquis is at range 2.
And at range 2. The saving grace here is that it is Iaquis' turn now. So he can do something about the situation, and he also added that to his gauge for the sake of the resources, presumably. That stun immunity isn't going to matter very much at this point. Well, maybe. Can't say for sure. But
Well,
yes,
the power.
the power might. The power very well might. Face up Dragon's Descent. Speed 4, power 7. Excuse me, power 9 because it's face up. Just trying to end the game right now, saying, hey, Emogine, does the card in your hand or one of the top 2 cards of your deck answer this? If not, you die. That would be a decisive way to end this game. However, Emogine, again, has the card in hand plus the top card of the deck, besides which, if she simply sets the top card of her deck as a wild swing, she will gain 1 life, and this will not kill her. That would bring her down to 1. Okay, she made a similar decision. She plays Holy Warding, which means she's going to have 1 armor, thereby surviving by the skin of her teeth. Emogine down to 1 life, and it's her turn at range 2, but without any life to spend, she can't use her ability to replace her attack. She's only able to initiate with a wild swing if she wants to strike, without being able to replace it, or take some other action to try to refill her hand. Perhaps a reshuffle, perhaps a change cards. What have we here? Walk to range 1.
While 5 life isn't impossible to chew through in a single strike, it's a lot harder to do when you can't take any damage yourself.
Yes, if Emogine hadn't lost her Purifying Chimes earlier, then I would have kind of expected that to be the play, just going for lethal. Unfortunately, she didn't really have the resources to maintain them. She can hit that hard, but with a wild swing, right, so she would have to know in advance what it was. I don't know if we were actually through the cards that she put on top of Desperate Prayer. I lost track. It's possible that she knew that top deck would not serve her well.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Alright, Iaquis, pushing 2. May spend a force, take another action, pays the force from Gage, takes another action. Is this going to be a strike from deck? Trying to go for lethal with something fast. No, prepare. Alright. Yeah, that was the speed 5 option he just used, and I don't remember if we already saw an assault or not. But I know we saw the dives. Alright, Emogine prepares as well.
I don't think we've seen an assault from Iaquis.
Okay. Yeah, depending on how he felt about his odds, that might have been a reasonable time to try to wild swing on the initiative. However, with 16 cards in deck, it would have been rough odds. Alright, Iaquis prepares as well. Players rebuilding their hand size. Next strike might well end the game, but they both want to have options for it. Emogine, with 3 cards in hand, is discarding Blood for Blood and Spike, 1 from hand, 1 from Gage. Going to range 2, that leaves her with 0 Gage, but 3 cards in hands. 0 Gage is a little bit dicey, but... oh, what? Right, because she just overspent by accident. She paid 2 force to walk 1, but you only pay 1 force to do that. Alright, so she keeps her Gage. That makes sense. Uh-oh. Roar. Yeah, Iaquis draws 5 cards, putting him at a hand size of 8s. Notably, thanks to this effect, not discarding at the end of his turn, not discarding down to 7. Now has, you know, most of his remaining options online, or actually a little more than half of them, I guess. Emogine is in
That's most.
a lot of danger. It is most, just narrowly. Emogine prepares. I wonder if she has a block that she's going to try to absorb some damage with, betting that Iaquis can't finish her in 1 blow and then she can kill him on the crackback.
Yeah, but if that 1 blow is assault...
then block is not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is down definitely 1 Hand of Judgment and 2 Purifying Chimes. So as far as V6s go, I'm unsure as to her crosses, but I think she only has 1 Hand of Judgment among her specials and ultras, which means she's a little on fast things. Iaquis apparently paying 2 force to retreat, does not draw for in a turn. Going to range 4, discarding Dragon's Fire and Dragon Spine, which are both range 4 options. Curiouser and curiouser.
Interesting choice.
I wonder if that was... okay, well, the slow one makes sense. It's a guarded option. Iaquis is at 5 life. It's probably not going to do much good. And Dragon's Fire is fairly low value as an attack, especially if Iaquis is holding EX Flight, I guess? That's my guess, is that this is telegraphing EX Flight. So...
yeah.
a very fast diving attack. Iaquis hurdles across the screen, well, halfway across the screen. Gets extra power if he was far enough away. You know, builds up a running start. Not something Emogine could outspeed unless she was backdashing out with cross. Alright. Emogine, 2 transformations, 1 Gage here at range 4. I know 1 Holy Warding has gone down, I'm not sure about the other. Both dives are down. Again, I have not been counting her crosses. She is striking with 1 card from hands.
I don't know that we've seen a cross from
There's
her at
EX
all.
Flight. Is it cross? It is not. It is Holy Warding, which is going to be slower. Dragon's Flight, speed 5, comes in, hits for lethal. That is 6 power. Alright.
That is game.
That is game. We got to see his hand right just for a moment at the end, and it had 2 blocks and a focus, so it would have been a little bit hard to finish him off, even if he didn't have that EX flight. All right, Rose takes the takes the first game over Adwins, so she will have to retire Iaquis in
From
glory.
this set, not from the...
Yeah, not indefinitely.
Yeah.
Just for this next game. Adwins may choose to play Emogine again, or may choose to switch characters. That is his prerogative. Was holding evidently Spike, Sweep, and EX Grasp, which is pretty good at range 1, but not very good at range 4.
I think we're going to see Dan from Rose.
That makes sense. I've seen very strong Dan play from Rose quite recently, so that would not surprise me in the least. Who has she won with so far?
I don't know off the top of my head. I should. Kai. No, I do know. It's Kai, and now Iaquis.
Okay, so yes, for diversity, for trying to win with different characters, it would make sense to not pick.
Which I know
Kai again.
She is interested in doing.
It is at the very least.
So,
even if you aren't, we're all in this together, right? This is to save the Earth from the aliens. But it's an interesting mini objective.
No, I'm in it to win it.
Oh, all right. Well, the rest of us are in it to save the Earth from the aliens.
Yeah.
All right. It's looking like Adwins might be sticking.
Okay. I wasn't sure if we would see an Emogine switch to an Akuma or maybe a Nanase.
Well, if we think the matchup is Dan, who from Adwin's team? I wouldn't mind the Nanase into Dan. The fact that she has a speed-based dodge is pretty relevant, right? She can dodge his really fast, really strong attacks, at least a few times per game.
Prop is pretty good into Dan as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you just try and mash the 5 power, the 7 power assault, his big ultra, the propeller launch.
That is... well, it depends, right? If it's played from hand versus if it's wild swung.